Welcome to the Bean Patch.
Hey, and welcome back to the Bean Patch. Today we're going to show you these doors on this hanger. I had a subscriber ask, hey Mr. Bean, how did you build them doors? Hanger doors are notoriously expensive. They can start generally at $3,000 to $5,000, and they can go up to $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 for a hanger door, depending on the style of hydraulics and the type of door you use. So come along and we'll just do a short video here and show you how I did it, what I did, and what it cost. You know, it should be known that Jim Robinson of the Erie Air Park in Erie, Illinois had nothing to do with the assembly of these doors. He did not send me paperwork with detailed instructions on how to assemble a similar door. He did not have multiple phone conversations with me, especially a lengthy one on the day of the construction of the doors. He was no help at all. Jim Robinson of the Erie Air Park in Erie, Illinois. I don't give him any credit for the construction of these doors. I don't know that I would call him if I were going to build doors similar to this, because it was all my idea. It really had nothing to do with Jim or his phone calls or his paperwork. Or the video he posted for me on YouTube. So I wanted to make that clear. I hope that clears this up, and I hope that we can move forward from here. It was all me. It wasn't Jim. Okay, these doors are standard 2x4 and 2x6. They are spanning a 40-foot opening, and you do kind of a third and then a 2/3. So this door, I use rebar, and then these are used in gates, and they just hold the rebar, and then I've got these clamps that clamp the door shut. So we'll kind of show you here. At the top, you can see that when the rebar, when I push it into lock position, it goes into some holders up there. So I just bring it over, and then I bring lock bar across, and I clamp it down. The two bottom ones go down. So this is the clamping system that I clamp in place, and it draws the two doors together, and these just hold the rebar in place. As you move on down, it is much the same system. The rebar comes down out of the holder and then just goes into the ground into some piping. Then what we do is we bring the clamping mechanism back in, and it clamps the two doors. Now, as a safety measure, I have a couple of 2x4s, and I can just put them, I can just drop them into those brackets, and they just add some additional security. So we use, I think 6, if I remember right, of these door hinges. We buy the heavy duty hinges, and we use those all the way up the outside of the door to hold the door onto the side of the structure. Now we use strapping, and then in all the corners we use an L bracket, as you can see it right there, and it's an L bracket, not the big L bracket. Here, let me show you. We use these inside of all the doors. The door where this first part of the door is about 1/3 the size of our other portion of the same door. And so what that does is this allows for this part to hinge, and the geometry is such that when this part hinges, your pivot point that's up on top of the trolley system stays centered. So as you pull this door in, it pulls the door like this. They sandwich together, and there's a hinge point in the big door, and it never has to be in a bind. It just rotates and pulls. And so I use standard non-treated lumber and construction lumber. I used a 2x6 on the top and then 2x4s on the rest of it to keep the weight down. I didn't want to go with treated lumber because of the excess weight. 29 gauge, 50-year metal is what I've got here. And so the hardest part about this door, I don't know that it really was that difficult. It took a little time for me and another fella to get it laid out on the ground. We built each section piece by piece, and then it did take, I think, 3 of us, 2 of us lifting, while another fella hooked up the trolley system. And let me give you a view of that. This is a view of the trolley system, and it just hangs by 1 bolt. There's no other places where it is actually supported the length of the door except on these hinges. So it hangs on the hinges, and then it hangs by the trolley system, which balances it. Again, you just have to kind of figure out what is your door opening and about 1/3 of that opening. I want to say on this one, my first door is 6 foot 6 inches, and then on the second door it is about 13 feet 3.5 inches. These doors are not exactly the same size, and I will note, I'll just let you know, this gap is normal for what we're doing. We're going to pour concrete into this building, and we'll be pouring concrete up to the bottom here and up to the bottom of that plate, so that this will just skim right across the top of the concrete once the concrete's poured. So in conclusion, I just want to say that the doors were the least expensive to build. I have about $1,200 in these doors. The metal is a little expensive, and then all the bracketry, all of the hardware, they just kind of add up. And of course lumber, I mean, it all just adds up. But about half of that was, maybe a little more than half of that was labor. I paid a fella to help me, and he said, you do it, I'll help you, and it's kind of your design, and so I'm just here to help. And so, but as we worked our way through it, you know, he was seeing what we were trying to do, and he was getting a pretty good idea, and that was helping a lot. So the lumber came from, I want to say, Menards. I think I got my trolley system from Tractor Supply. I think I bought all of my brackets and my rebar from Menards. I bought the metal from a local contractor. You can go to Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, any of those places, and you can pick up the metal. But we worked with a local metal Mennonite company that gave us a real good price and really good quality metal. And so these doors should last a long time. I don't know that we'll ever insulate them, but we may put some foam. We may put foam board just inside here and just try to give a little bit of an insulation value, as one day we'll probably air condition and heat the hanger if we can. At least heat it if we don't air condition it. So, all right, that's it. That is the hanger doors that we installed. And if you guys have any questions, shoot me a comment below. If there's something you want to see close up, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for coming by the Bean Patch, and we'll see you next time.